Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is the part 2. If you haven't watched the part 1, I will drop a link down below because I'm reviewing the Jonas JavaScript course, only fundamentals. I've already reviewed the part 1, so go to watch if you want to interest. Okay, and one thing I need to mention again, this video will not be edited. It's because first, it takes so much time, and second, um, my computer will struggle a lot, so that's why. And I don't want to torture my computer, okay? And well, anyway, why I edit video to make it more beautiful, to enhance my voice quality, because this just earphones costs $3 and it's not that great. And if you're hearing like rain, yes, I'm listening this because kind of vibe. Okay. So let's just jump into strict mode. So what is that? Here is the without using strict mode. Okay, the strict mode is off here, and we declare the variable true, and then we're calling it here bool, right? We just missed the K letter, and then the console log is not saying anything. It's just not saying anything at all. Of course, it's VS Code. VS Code knows this is you're missing something. It has extension, I think. It's telling us, hey buddy, you missed something, you have to put something here, something's wrong here, it's showing. So without using strict mode, it returns nothing, console log. But here you can see why when you strict mode, it's clearly telling us the mistake and not letting the code to run. We turn it on strict mode, it will be only turn it on the top of all your codes. Okay, so here uncode reference error assignment to undeclared variable bool. The bool hasn't been declared, but why you're calling it, it's saying this is JavaScript. Okay, and then you use strict mode and pushes us to use modern JavaScript. Okay, as you know, there are old JavaScript and modern JavaScript. Every year the updates will be JavaScript will be updated, and it pushes us to use modern JavaScript. So use strict will help us in that case too. So moving on to functions. A function in JavaScript is a block of code that can be defined once and called multiple times to perform a specific task. Okay, functions allow us to write a reusable code and organize our programs into smaller and modular chunks. Variables hold the value, but functions hold multiple lines of code. Functions can be called, invoked, run as many times as we want. Here is a simple example for functions. As you can see, I should be like this. Sorry, it's my mistake. I should correct. As you can see. As you can see, we're invoking a function multiple times. Invoking, calling are the same meaning. So we're just invoking, we're calling the function here. Okay, we open a variable called YouTube, and it has a value marginal and function. We name it the function sub, and the followers is a placeholder. Just imagine it's a placeholder, it's a parameter. And then here we're opening the scope, the console log. My YouTube channel name is calling that variable inside the template literal. Template literal is you can open with backticks. You can do expressions, expression, right? I think I've mentioned statements versus expression in the old video. So go watch if you haven't, if you don't understand. Because why don't I cover here? Okay, template literals are something that you can use inside a strings, and you can call variables inside it, or you can do like YouTube arithmetics as well. It produces expression. Expression is something that produces value. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to explain. I'm not professional. I'm just sharing my own joy with you. That's all. There is nothing wrong, I think, or something. Just telling you guys. Just kidding. So, and I will have followers. Okay, I will have followers. Okay, here sub, I'm calling that function, and then I'm giving an argument. And this follower is here. This is I'm calling this parameter here inside the temple literal, and I'm giving it argument. This argument goes inside this, and it will be like follower. Here is a parameter. The point is here. My English is not good enough. That's because I'm kind of struggling to explain in English. So I hope you guys are still watching me. Actually, like you just click this video. Okay, who's this guy? And watching. Like, huh. I have there are a lot of like experts and out there in JavaScript in terms of what do I watch them? I'm just watching a random guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, I know what I'm talking about actually. I know, but I'm just struggling to explain my points. 10 goes to the inside the followers. Followers is just imagine in HTML when you were learning, there's a placeholder, right? When you open a form, you give placeholder inside it. Temporarily, it stays in there. So that's why followers is also staying here temporarily. When your argument goes right here. Here, my YouTube channel name is Marjal, and I will have 10 followers. And I will call again 89. My YouTube channel is Marjal, and I will have 89 followers. See, that's what we can use. Functions, reusable. Functions allow us to write reusable code and organize our programs into smaller modular chunks. That's what I'm talking about. So, as you can see in the above picture, yeah, here, functions, sub, followers. This followers is called parameter, and it's like a placeholder. When you invoke a function, you can put arguments, so then it allows you to reuse the function. So guys, I'm just reviewing for myself. I know what I'm talking about. I'm doing my best to explain to you. If you haven't understood, pause this video right here and go to open another YouTube. Like you're watching this, right? And you go here, you do like this. It opens this again, another video. And here you're watching my video, okay? Here you're watching my video, and you say, okay, what is function in GS? You write, there are tons of videos come out, JavaScript functions. You can just choose one of them and you can watch whichever you prefer. Okay, this is what you should do if you don't understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm doing my best. Here is another example for function. It's undefined. Why? Again, I call the same code undefined followers. Okay, let's try to understand why. I open it the const. It's like here. My YouTube channel is Marcelo, okay, and I will have followers. Why I'm console logging and it's not returning? Okay, here is why. Hope we noticed the difference. Oh, I haven't returned. Did I return here? I haven't returned here, and I got the difference. Look, here we're doing when you call the functions and we said console log, it should print this, okay? It should print this. But here we declare a variable. We're storing these things inside the variable, and then of course it doesn't like prints out here. And then we're saying console log here and sub calling the function, and we're giving argument. Then you may ask, why it's not, anyway we're doing console log, why it's not saying undefined? It's because the return statement stops execution of functions and returns the value. It's because, like, I don't know why. It's because, sorry, I made kind of mistake, I think. Let's just check. Function, let's say sub, let's say follower, open, const, book, let's say. Who cares about the function? I am Marcello. Okay. Console block sub. Wait, what? What's returning undefined here? Let's make it interesting. Okay, let's just copy this. I'm just again telling you guys I'm not expert. Just ask for chat GPT. What can tell? See, as I was saying, there's no return here. The function sub doesn't have an explicit return statement, so it simply implicitly returns undefined. When you call console log, this executes the sub function, which creates the variable book, but doesn't actually return anything. It's not returning, guys. Therefore, the value logged at the console is the return value. Let's ask from Bing as well. What is going to tell? Hello Bing. Why it's returning undefined? Let's just ask what it's going to tell. The function sub is not returning anything in JavaScript if a function doesn't explicitly return a value using the return statement. It will return undefined by default. See, in your code you're defining variable book inside a function, but you're not returning it. If you want the function to return the value of book, you can add a return statement at the end of a function like this. See. Bing is much better than ChatGPT because I get a lot of good, clear answers from Bing, not from ChatGPT. So here is also the same, but anyway, who cares? I kind of prefer ChatGPT, not this. Okay, let's just go here. Let's just return this. Hope it works. Return book. See, we got the result. So we have to always return things in JavaScript. But you got the difference, right? Function declaration versus function expression. Here, it's a function declaration. Okay, it's function declaration. There are 3 types of functions in JavaScript, as far as I know. Okay, only here I learned this much. Maybe there's more. Because I've seen like there's callback functions, they say. I know function declaration, function expression, and function arrow function. Sorry, arrow function. So this is an example for function declaration. Function history sum. This is what we see, what we saw there. Here is returning year minus sum. Sum is a placeholder. History, we're calling the function, and we're giving argument, and we're subtracting and console logging. The console of 579. Okay, this is an example for function expression. So const year 2023, const past year function, the same thing. But here we don't name a function. This is the function expression, which is stored to the variable. Isn't it better? You might ask, okay, if there is so many, like 3 types of functions, which one do we use? Yeah, there are cases. There will be cases you will use function declaration, or function expression or arrow function. So that's why the owner of JavaScript, whatever who they are adding such things. There's need for that. That's because they're creating. They're not just simply saying, okay, let's just create another type of function, but let's just make it interesting. They're not saying like that, I think. So it has its own role in it. So the first thing we're gonna recap. Function declaration is something you don't store to the variable. It's just something you name variable. You name your function, but in function expression you don't name your function. It's just declare that's all with a variable. So arrow function. Here is a simple form. I hope I'm recording with my microphone normally. Here's a simple form of arrow function. Here the birth year is parameter. As it's a single parameter, we don't have to wrap it to parentheses, and besides, as it's just a one line, we don't have to write return because it just itself does it for us. Here, this is an arrow function. Again, you might ask, this looks like the same. Yeah, we're again store to the variable, but we don't use parentheses. We use parentheses if you have like this multiple parameters, but we use such kind of sign, see, sign, and then if as I said here, as it's a one line, the JavaScript itself returns it automatically. You don't have to write the word return. But if it's multiple lines like this, you write return like this here. Okay, it's returning 50, which means it's working. So I hope it's more clear here about functions and arrow functions. Okay. This is arrow function I created. Birth year, first name, then const age. I'm declaring variable age, and then 2034 minus birth year, and then const retirement 65 minus age. So once the answer comes here, and then we're subtracting the age from 65, and then this much left for me to retire will come out in the end, and then returning the first name here parameter retires in retirement this year soon, inshallah. Then console log arrow function 2000. I'm giving 2000 for birth year. Okay, 2034 minus 2000 will be 34, and then age will be 34, and 65 minus 34 will be 31, right? So the first name is Marcelo, and here the output will be Marcelo retires in 31 years soon, inshallah. Easy peasy. So calling functions inside one another. That's also interesting. Hope you got what's going on here. And function new clothes man, return man plus 50. Sorry, Cortana is playing with me, I think. Function, we're here declaring function declaration because there's a name in function new clothes man, return man plus 50, and then we're again function style clothes boys girls, and we're calling this inside the variable. We're calling this new clothes boys. We gave the parameter of this. Hope you got what's going on here. First, let me try to explain much more clear. We declare a variable here. We like open the function. Okay, new clothes, return man plus 50. Right? There's a man, the parameter, and we are calling again another function. Not calling. We're opening another function. We are posing gold parameters, and we're declaring variable called by. And we're calling this function with voice parameters. This voice goes to here, I think. Yeah, no, I think it's clear. Cell new clothes girls go this so const clothes at the end we're gonna donate by calling this function, they'll call this variable pieces for children, and tell this variable calling here pieces clothes for boys. Return clothes. It's easy peasy, guys. stack loaders and calling this function right here. And 200 goes to boys, 300 goes to girls, and boys goes to here, girls goes to here. So we're gonna donate 250 pieces for children and 350 pieces for clothes for boys. Hope you got this, what's going on. If you haven't, just pause the video, try to analyze yourself. It will be much more easier. Okay. So why do you think this code is not executing the console log? It's because the return is exiting the function. It stops. What is Kitty is doing here? So here const the years until retirement function and birth year, first name, const age, calc, whatever. We're adding if also inside the function. Retirement is bigger than 0, return retirement. There's no console log here, guys. And here else in else statement also returning -1, but there is no console log. Why? It's because return is exiting the function. It just once the JavaScript sees the return, it just stops the function. It doesn't go to the bottom. Okay. So that's what it is. Quick review for functions. Know the differences. Function declaration and function that can be used before it's declared. This is function declaration. It can be hoisting. We'll talk about hoisting later on this course. Later on in the next videos, I mean. Function expression as essentially a function value stored in a variable like this. Arrow function. Like this, we just talked about amount. 3 different ways of writing functions, but they all work in a different or in a similar way. Receive input data, transform data, and then output data. Explain in detail. So here that is a function declaration, okay, and then function name, parameters. These are parameters, placeholders to receive input values like local variables of a function, and this is inside is the function body block code of that we want to reuse processes the function's input data. Okay, and return here return statement to output a value from the function and terminate the execution. Terminate means end. It just stops. It makes it stop. Const age call kind of raining, right? Imagine you're staying and looking out from your window and you see this raining. Isn't it kind of amazing? Kind of scary too, but kind of interesting as well. For me, at least. Okay, let's go back to class. Const, we're opening a variable to save returned value. Here we return age, right? Here we return age. Wait a second. Why did you open another age in your column? Is that being... Well, yes, it's once it's inside a function, JavaScript will... It's kind of weird. Let's just check this. I've screenshot. I didn't do this, guys, by the way. I screenshot it from somewhere else. Let's just check this how it works. Let's just store this inside the variable. Const book. See, there is no error. You know why? It's because once it's inside the function, it's gonna be 2 different things. Like I'm kind of struggling to explain it again. If this variable inside this function, you cannot call this function to outside here. Like there's something you cannot see with your eyes. There's something. There's something here. Okay. There's something. Like there's something covered it cannot get out. Something covered here. Okay, let's just check this. Why it's not returning an error? Why book is not returning an error? I think it tells the same thing. The book variable is not returning an error because it's correctly assigned the value returned by the subfunction. In your code, you have defined function sub that takes one argument follower and returns a string that includes the value of follower. When you call the function with sub book, it returns the string and whatever. This value is when assigned to the book variable. Since our assignment of the return value. No. Oh, look. Okay. I got what you're saying. But according to GS rule, we cannot declare variable. Sorry, I'm mistyping because this understand what I'm saying. Okay. Variable with const. It's not turning an error. Why? Oh. You're correct. In JavaScript, you can only declare variable using const. However, in your code, you're not declaring the book variable. The book variable inside a subfunction is in a different scope than the book variable outside a function. The const book declaration inside a subfunction creates a new variable that is local to the function. It's separated from the book variable outside a function. Since the two book variables are in different scopes, there is no declaration and no errors thrown. The book variable outside a function is assigned and the value returned by the subfunction, while the book variable inside a function remains unchanged. I hope this helps clarify things. Let me know if you have any other questions. Yeah, I want you to get out. Now I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for helping me. So that's what it's saying, guys. It's saying as it's inside a function scope. That's why they are two different things. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Alright. Be here because I need your help. Alright, be here. Sure, I'll be here to help you with any questions. Let me know. Okay. What you need help with. And I'll do my best to assist you. Thanks, buddy. That's my message. Okay, let's just go to topic as we were talking. At age call age, we call this function and we give it parameters birth year. We gave argument to this parameter and we gave Jonas name to this parameter argument, and arguments actual values of function parameters to input that. This is actual value, okay? Argument. Calling, running, or invoking the function using. Okay, I hope you got what I'm saying. Sorry. So, an array is a special variable which can hold more than one value. Const, we're declaring a variable called cars, and we're storing data inside Saab, Volvo, BMW. See, we're storing multiple stuff to just one variable. Here, well, that's an advantage of arrays. For example, you call friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, friend 3, three types of variables with three different kind of values. But here, you can create, you can declare a variable with using just one variable. Michael, Stephen, Peter, these two are the same thing. And when you console log, it works just like this. I may ask, how can I use one of them? If I want to use Steven, how can I use it? Hold on your horses. It's possible. You can use it pretty easily, okay? This is so easy. And there's another way of creating an array, new array, Jimmy, this doesn't matter. So that's how you call arrays, start from zero index. So arrays are actually zero indexed. It's starting from zero, okay? Not from one. We call the variable books. We declare it. Sorry, my lips. I is dry. Alpha button, how lokma, 2 eshik orasi. Console log books 1, 2. So we're actually calling the variable books here, and here you call with index 1 and index 2. The whole lokma is index 1, 2 eshik orasi index 2. Here lokma 2 eshik orasi. Pretty easy. Length of an array, length. So this is this console length. Length actually how many values are inside the variable. It tells you that thing 3. Easy peasy. So that's how you get the last index. You call books, and inside this scope you say books full stop length -1. Yes, so that's how you can change manually the values. So you might have a question like you can declare it with const keyword, we can reassign it. What are you talking about? Oh, books, then here. I'm calling this reassigning actually. As you haven't watched the part 1, you go back to watch because I've explained it there. I were actually I'm just thinking, I hope I'm recording this video normally because I'm listening to the rain and my microphone is so cheap. I hope it's recording. Hello. We actually reassigning with another name. We replace it and we're putting image together. So const first name Majal and Majal first name, we're calling this variable here Shamsdinov 2023. Someone is calling me. So we are gonna continue because kind of distracted, sorry. So yeah, that's how you can add another value. For example, books, you call this books, and then you like tell which position you want to add. For example, if you want to change it, right? Here if you call it, it's gone. Ikeshikora is gone here. There's no such word. So here, so you might have a question like you declare with the const keyword, we can assign it. Yes, correct, we cannot do this for primitive values, but arrays is non-primitive. Did you get it? We can add things for non-primitive values. So arrays are amazing. First name Shamsinov 2023 minus 2000. Here another like variable we're calling it's working here, Michelle Shamsinov. Here is mod subtraction working. Basic array operations. If you want to add the value, you can use push. This adds the value at the end of an array. Year, you call the year, full stop push 2003 and 2004. If you see the result, 2003 and 2004 was being added, had been added anyway. Just wait. Sorry, another distraction. push, we can use push for at the end of the array. Okay, everything's fine, nobody's calling me. And push, this adds a value at the end of an array. Okay, we got this. Pop, this deletes from the last index, opposite of push. Yeah, your pop, we just call, we cannot tell which one to delete, I think. Or can we? Can we do this? I tried, but I will show you in practice. Their jobs, whatever. What am I doing? Let's say, what books I have educated. Let's say, book, push, I'm showing with 2. Let's do like this, just in case I'm just doing. Actually, there's no 2 thing here. 1. Console log book. Steve Jobs educated 1. Oh, I should have used pop, not push. See, it deleted. And if you, whatever number you put, it deletes. Same thing, it doesn't show up anything. Whatever you can name, oh, it says like something. No, I'm gonna delete Steve Jobs. Nothing changed. Zero. So let's ask from Bing. I have body right, Bing. Why I cannot delete a specific value. If you want to remove a specific element from an array, you can use splice method, but we'll get into that later. For example, to remove the element in index 1 from book and array, you can do following: book splice 111, two jobs, just leaves. First argument to splice. Okay, we got this. It doesn't take any arguments. See, pop doesn't take anything. So on shift, this adds a value for the beginning of an array. As we talked, it adds from the beginning. Here on shift, console log, here 999, 1999 was being added for the beginning of an array. Shift, this deletes from the beginning of an array. As you guys can see, I deleted the 2000. Just call it. For deleting, you just call. That's all. You don't put any value or whatever. That's just keep it empty. That's it. But when you wanted to delete specific one, you use splice. But we'll get into later. But not now. Index off. This checks the position of a value, like in which index it is. For example, console log year. Full stop index of 2001. You just say in which index 2001 is. Choose 1. Why? Because the array is 0 indexed So it starts with 0, 1, 2. Include. It returns boolean, true, false. This checks whether the value exists or not. And you just say yeah, includes 2001. Is 2001 exist here? True. Check from here. Full stop includes, for example, book. It returns false. But if you put educated, it returns true because educated exists here. Alright. So now moving on to objects. So what is the object? In real life, a car is an object. A car has properties like weight, color, methods like starting, stop, and object, properties, methods, car, name, Fiat, car, model 500, weight, color, stop, brake, drive, start. These are the methods. All cars have the same properties, but the property value differ from car to car. Yeah. All cars have the same methods, but methods are performed at different times. Correct? So this is how objects encode. So the red mark is the key, red object. Okay? There's a difference between array and object, but you can see the advantage of objects. Okay? I will cover in down below. I've actually wrote the same thing. The question might become, what's the difference between array and object? Hold on, I'll tell you. This is how objects encode. Red mark is key, red mark is first name is key, blue mark is value, both of them, and green mark is called property. This is both together is called property, okay? First name is value, Marcel is value, okay? This first name is key, and both together is property. Time is 11. I've kind of sleep. I want to sleep, I think. So, console log person first name, and console log person. When you're getting inside, this is inside the function. Another inside object, another one. Okay, this is the address here, and you again this scope city or seek. See, and here the same thing. Person, address, street, and check. Person, hobbies, 2, editing videos, 0, 1, 2. Got this? Wait, what? You might have a question. Marcel, what's the difference? In JavaScript, arrays and objects are both data structures used to store collections of values. However, there are some key differences between the two. Let's see the differences. An array. I'm tired, guys. I'm really tired. An array is an ordered collection of values, typically of the same type. It's identified by the square brackets, and elements are separated by commas. The basic one is arrays ordered. Okay. Arrays can be accessed by index, which starts from 0 and can be modified, can be changed, and you can add changes by adding and removing elements. Here is an example. Const fruits, apple, banana, orange. Console log fruit, you're like actually console logging 0, apple. Fruits, push, you're adding, and fruits, mango at the end. So as we talked, push at the end of the array. So an object, on the other hand, is an unordered collection of key value pairs. It's identified by the curly braces, and the key value pairs are separated by commas. Objects can be accessed by the key and can be modified by adding, updating, or deleting properties. Okay, an object is an unordered collection of key value pairs. That's what you need. And here is an example. Const person, first name, this is the key, and this is the value. Both are together property. Like this, and console log person, first name John, and email, whatever email it is. Sorry. So dot notation versus bracket notation. So in JavaScript, there are two ways to access objects properties: dot notation and bracket notation. The dot notation is used to access object properties by specifying the property name directly after the object name and dot character. For example, person first name. Use dot notation when something is so clear. Okay, here's the first name is clear. Use dot notation. In dot notation, the property name should be a valid identifier, which means that it should start with a letter, underscore, or a dollar sign and should not contain spaces or special characters. It shouldn't contain any stupid things, okay? It just should be clear, exactly, perfect. Bracket notation. So bracket notation is used to access object properties by specifying the property name as a string inside a set of square brackets. For example, first name, the same thing is happening here. The bracket notation allows the property name to be any string, including spaces, special character. It doesn't matter for the bracket notation, okay? And also it allows property name to be specified dynamically, which means that the property name can be a variable or an expression that evaluates to a string. For example, const property name, you're just calling this declaring function with first name. Here you're calling, right? And console log person property name, it's calling from not here, just here, and then understanding, oh, there's a first name here. When inside person, there's first name, of course, it's possible. But you can't do this here with the documentation, I think. Let's just check what's gonna happen. Notebook A, let's say. I forgot the syntax, I'm sorry. C. I'm really, really tired. D. C, right? Not C. A. Alright. So far. Book. It's return C. And it's undefined. With dot notation, it's not working, guys. I think it's over. Have I been recording more than an hour? Well, that's a lot. Only 49 minutes. Come on. It's not more. So in general, dot notation is more concise and easier to read when the property name is known in advance. On the other hand, the bracket notation is more flexible and allows for dynamic property access. So dot notation versus bracket notation. So you can add property both dot notation and bracket notation. For example, when you call person and dot notation, job, programmer. call it job. What is job? There's no job here. But when you see there's a job right here, when you console log person, you even added with dot notation of number. You can add property plus dot notation and bracket notation. Doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter. Object methods. We can create functions inside an object and it's gonna be a method. If you create a function inside object, it's gonna be method, okay? We open the function. Guys, I'm really tired right now. So after taking 1 minute of break, I need to continue. So as I was saying, when you open a function inside object, it's gonna be method. Function birth here, this, equal, it works. So this keyword, what is this? Yeah, what is this? In JavaScript, this keyword refers to an object, which object depends on how this is invoked, and this keyword refers to different objects depending on how it's used. And in object method, this refers to object alone, this refers to global object, and in a function, this refers to global object, whatever. And here we're using this, right? We're not using person. Sorry, we're not using person. Why? It's because this refers to this person, that's why. Just wait right here. That's how it's working here. See? Loops. So repeat the loop a limited amount of times for declare index condition step. Loops. So you can iterate the variables, objects as many times as you want. This is how simple loop. With for, it keeps looping until it hits the false. Yeah, loops are like that. For, this is the basic one. For, you open for, you say this is the keyword, and you open parentheses, let wrap equal to 1, wrap is smaller than 10. Is it correct? Of course it's correct. And wrap incrementing. Console log lifting weights repetition wrap here, just like this. It's until it hits to the 10 and becomes 11, it stops because it becomes false then, right? So you can do such cool things with loop. What kind of cool things? For I tell this, and we open the empty array, and we're pushing type of only type of string. This string it goes to index and then iterating, looping, and returning string, number, boolean, undefined object number type of. Another example. Calc years, this is the years, ages, my dad is 10 years old. This is also one of the interesting example for loop. And continue versus break. So continue statement terminates execution of the current iteration in a loop. So it just skips, okay? So here, when it's true, it's skipping. For example, you did this, right? And then it's iterating here. I variable equals to 0, and then it's smaller than calc years from its length. How many lengths it has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, right? The 0 is, I think it's smaller than 6, it's correct. And it comes right here. If type of calc here, this is type of, is not equal to string, it should continue. When it hits to the first one is number, right? The number comes here and says, is this not equal to, this is true. It's true, right? Because number and then string is not equal thing. it's not equal. Yeah, it's true. And the continue works. It just skips that thing. It doesn't type. It doesn't console logs. Calc here, see. My computer is getting off. And here break. Once it's true, it terminates the process. It just stops. Here when it's equal to the string, it's true. It stops working because calc here is equal. If it's equal to string, it should break. Number comes here and then equals string. Is it true? No, it's not. It becomes false. So it doesn't work. And once it comes to string equals to string. Margel is string, right? And then it's a type string. Equal? Yeah, it's equal. It's just break. That's it. It doesn't work. It stops. Loop in backwards. So that's how backwards work. So in the for loop, you provided calc here length -1 is used to get the index of the last element in index calc here's array. The loop then counts down from this index to 0 the index of the first element, logging each element to the console as it goes. So here, whatever that is, and then you're saying let I equals to calc here's length -1 and I is bigger than 0, I minus minus. And you're calling it here true, designer, true, result, therefore it's from backwards. Why? It's because length is -1 and then here decrementing and I is bigger than 0. Finally it's over. Loops in loops. You can call loops inside the loop. Once you call this loop here, another loop. Just pause this video, try to understand. Because I haven't fully understood yet this thing. That's why I cannot explain. Why? Because you call this thing, and then how come this one is working? Well, this one is doing its job perfectly here. See? 5 times we're holding this one. And why not this one is not working 5 times? Well, it's working 5 times, but this one is being done first. This is waiting here, starting with x1, x2. This one is doing full its job, but it's not doing. I don't know, guys. So try to subscribe. I'm so tired right now. I have huge headache or something. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm thirsty. I need to go. Thank you for watching. If someone is watching, please drop a like and drop a comment, please. Then I will know somebody's watching me. And that's it. That's what I want to say. Thank you so much being so far with me. And we'll cover this full course together with you. I'll be uploading here. Cool things. I'll be sharing my own journey with you, what's going on in my life, in programming life, of course. See you. Bye. Take care. So, goodbye.